All right, last time we defined leadership by what it really is, but knowing the definition isn't enough. If you don't have these 5 non-negotiables and you're leading people, then you're missing it. But it's not your fault because I haven't told you yet. But after these next few minutes, your people will see you level up. I'm Jabin Ferrer, and this is Leader Snips. Quick hits on leadership that cuts through the noise. Okay, these are the 5 traits that separate leaders that people want to follow from leaders that people only tolerate. Miss one, and your leadership will stall. No matter how talented you are or how big your title is, what's interesting is that each one of these builds on another. So there's a foundation here, and we're going to build one at a time. Ready? Let's dive into it. Number 1, I gotta lead off with this one. Do you have vision? Vision talks about sight. Okay, it hints at your competence. It only hints at your competence. So when people come into your midst and they hear whatever vision that you have or whatever you're supposed to be leading or whatever the reason is that they're around you, they want to hear if you talk a good game. Now I know somebody says, oh, they talk a good game, but that's only bad if they don't follow through. You need to be able to talk a good game. Salespeople need to be able to talk a good game. And you're always selling. If you're not in a sales position, you're always selling something. So as a visionary leader, as a leader who needs to be visionary, you need to be able to position the fact that you have vision. People need to see that. They need to feel it. They need to understand that you're somebody that knows where you're going. Not only that you know where you're going, you know where the team's going, you know where the organization's going, that there's a mission and there's a reason that they're following you. Okay. People need to know that when you say something, you believe it and it resonates with them. Right? They can encounter and count on you as a leader. I heard John Maxwell say at a conference over the last year, leaders see more and they see before. So they see more and they see before. So they see more than you do and they see before you do. So if you're following somebody that is a leader and you believe that they're a strong leader, chances are they have that intact. Now, it doesn't matter what we're talking about. We could be talking about in the field of architecture. A leader who has experience might see the blueprint before it's even drafted. We can talk about an engineer or a developer who has experience might see the code before it's written. Somebody in business might see the deal already done. They know the details of it. So if you have somebody that has experience and you have a leader that's worth following, they're definitely going to have vision. Now, number 2, I might lose some of y'all on this one. Empathy. Okay. Now, trust me, when I say empathy, out of strength finders, I did all 34 of my strength finders, and empathy is like in my bottom 5. So this is one of the things that I know you have to work on. And people have to feel that you have empathy. Now, by empathy, I don't mean woo woo. You got to cry with people. You got to hear all their problems. That's not it at all. But it is a human side. There is a human aspect that you need to bring to the table as a leader. Okay, so I hope I didn't lose some of y'all here. But I'm not talking about sitting and hearing everybody's problems. But I am talking about the people that you're leading. They need to perceive that you have their best interests in mind. You just need to be able to relate from the perspective of we're not machines. We are people. We have families. We have emotions. We have challenges. We have ups and downs. And you need to be somewhat sympathetic. Now, that comes easier for certain personalities. It comes difficult for other personalities. So if you're somebody like me, you're high charging, high fun, high decision making type A, you might need to be intentional about how much empathy you have, because empathy is really the next step. Once somebody sees, oh, I can follow this person. Okay, they have a vision. They know where they're going. Now they're trying to see, well, where do I fit in? Do I fit into this vision? Okay, empathy. So we're building here. Number 3, do you have integrity? All right. Integrity to me really deals with trust. Can I trust that you're going to do what you said you're going to do? Can I trust what you say? Can I trust that it's going to be safe for me to speak up? Can I trust that you're going to represent me well? Can I trust that when I'm not in a room, you're going to relay exactly what I've shared with you to whatever level of discretion, but you're not going to misrepresent me? Okay, can I trust that you're going to have my back? They say that integrity is doing the right thing when nobody's looking, and I do believe that, and I believe that your people will know, because it'll come back around. If you're misrepresenting people, you can hide in plain sight, but eventually it'll be found out that you might lack integrity. And part of the integrity thing, I think, builds from empathy. Once somebody sees, oh, they have my best interest in mind, that's a snapshot in time. But integrity is over time. You have to be consistent. As you're consistent, that integrity builds, that trust builds, and now you're going to the next level. All right. Number 4, do you have courage? Now, courage is the next step, because so far we just talked about snapshots of moments in time. Okay, you got vision. Okay. And I see that you have empathy. You have my best interest in mind. Okay, that's great. And integrity. Oh, you've been consistent over time. But so far, that's been in great times. We haven't had any challenges yet. We haven't had any adversities just yet. All right. So courage to me really comes in standing and leaning into adversity. All right. It's easy to do these things when everything is good, when there's no pressure. But what happens when pressure hits? What happens when you miss that deadline? What happens when you're getting pressure from the top? When your leader's getting pressure from the top? When you're getting pressure from the people that you're following? What if you're stuck in the middle and you're the middle manager, you're the leader? Or what if your leader's that middle manager and there's pressure from all sides? Or what if there's pressure at home? What if there's pressure at home and everybody's stressed out at home? You can't wait to come to work, but you're coming to work with the baggage. Then you don't want to leave home and you're stressing everybody out. Okay, so it takes courage, first of all, to recognize that all those dynamics are going on. As a leader, you need to first recognize that that's going on in your life. Then you need to recognize that potentially that's going on in somebody's life on your team. I had a situation a couple months ago where one of my project managers just wasn't showing up as himself. And so called him offline and said, hey, you got a minute? Like, hey, man, everything all right? What's going on? Just like your energy is low. Like you usually that guy that shows up, you ready to go. He's like, oh man, I'm just going through a couple things, was up late and, I'm good, man. I appreciate you checking in. It was like, okay, great, cool. Sometimes somebody's not going to show up as their best self. But by you identifying that and then leaning in, it goes a long way because now you saw about that person. Okay. So having the courage to just stop work for a minute and see about a person. This goes back to the empathy part. But now you're being consistent. You're starting to bring it all together. You see how we're building here? Now, number 5, do you have discernment? Okay, so this is going to be a little deep. So just rock with me. Just flow with me. This is actually the bookend on number 1. Okay, remember number 1, vision. And I talked about how vision was sight. Discernment is insight. Okay, vision is sight. Discernment, what? Insight. What do I mean? Well, when we talk about insight, this is more like sight unseen. So I said I'm going a little deep here because I'm talking about the spirit of man. This channel is all about wisdom that AI can't replace. All right. So when I talk about discernment, AI doesn't have discernment. AI is only good, and you'll see this in the subsequent video, as what you tell it or as what it learns. It's machine learning. Okay. It doesn't have what we have. So insight, discernment, is being able to see beyond what is being presented, being able to put things together, whether it's the spirit of the Lord that is giving you an eye to see or an ear to hear, or it's a gut feeling or intuition. Depending on what walk of life you come from, you may think it's different things, but discernment. Okay, I think we can all agree that discernment is looking beyond the data, is looking beyond the numbers. There's something just not right here. And so as a leader, you have to have that. You have to come to the table with a level of discernment and not just be one-dimensional and trusting the facts, trusting the data, trusting the information. Yes, it'll give you a directional read, but there's always more than meets the eye. Okay, so now this is what I want you to consider. I want you to consider which of these is your strongest attribute. Which one of these are the ones that you need to work on? Do you have them all? It's interesting because I've seen combinations of leaders that have one or two of these, or they're missing one. You could have courage, but you have no discernment. And you can have vision, but you have no empathy, and any other combinations of them. But I think if you're intentional to walk through these and identify the ones that you have, identify the ones that you don't have, the things that you need to do better, I think you will increase in your ability as a leader. Okay. So now listen, these are the 5 non-negotiables, and we locked in. So once you get these 5 non-negotiables, you'll be on your way. But if you confuse leadership with management, then all this might be for naught. Now, that's what we're talking about in the next video. Until then, leaders, be visible and get insight.